Okay, now I want you to imagine this. You managed to get the DNA of some guy that died like 50 years ago, some hair follicles, a piece of flesh, something like that, and you imbue it into your body. And then all of a sudden, you can grow trees, wooden structures, and entire forest ranges, goodbye global warming, with ease. You can instantly heal and regenerate from what otherwise would be fatal injuries. All of this from a few cells from some dude that's been dead for years. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the gold of the Naruto verse, the DNA of the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, more commonly known as Hashirama cells. Just how strong are they? And what type of abilities do they grant a person? It goes without saying, but Hashirama is the definition of built different. Fun fact, do you know that every time Hashirama fought Madara, he was at a disadvantage? The first time Madara had the Kyuubi under his Genjutsu, and when both were reanimated, Madara had a significant power-up, that being the Rinnegan. And yet, Hashirama either wins or stalemates in both cases. Madara is the same guy that was able to no-diff the 5 Kage. A feat that puts this into better perspective, Swirly Zetsu was able to stalemate the entire alliance with only a tenth of Hashirama's power. Yeah, he was using the 100-armed Buddha statue, which is a lesser variant of Hashirama's 1000-armed Buddha. Now I'm going to go over everyone that's received Hashirama cells and the types of amps that they received due to that. The first person to hop on the trend was Madara Uchiha. During his battle with Hashirama, he managed to bite off a piece of flesh and implant it into his own body, which in turn helped Madara awaken the Rinnegan. Hashirama cells can only result in Rinnegan manifestation if merged with Indra's chakra to recreate the Sage's chakra. Now Madara seems to have gained a lot of abilities from the first Hokage's cells, seeing as how he proudly shows off Hashirama's face that developed on his chest like a tattoo. He can use the wood style, the forced emergence, which can drastically alter the terrain by creating an entire forest in instants. This forest can also sprout flowers whose pollen can render anyone that inhales it unconscious. On top of basic wood style ninjutsu, Madara's healing is amplified greatly due to the first Hokage's DNA. Madara, after becoming the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, was able to heal instantly after experiencing the full impact of 8 Gates Guy's strongest attack, one that erased half his body. Yet he was able to regenerate and recover instantly. So much for Guy's big moment. Now the fact that he was the Ten Tails Jinchuriki may have had something to do with it, but there's no denying that Hashirama's cells help his healing factor, as it has done the same with other characters. Specifically another Uchiha that was saved by Madara. During the Third Great Shinobi War, Obito was crushed with what seemed to be the weight of an entire cave, and was thought to have been left for dead. The entire right part of his body was crushed. So how did he survive something like that? Take a wild guess. You see, Madara found the boy, or at least what remained from him, collapsed in some underground passage that he had built with the help of Zetsu, I'm assuming, and brought him back to his lair, where he infused his right side with Hashirama's cells in order to heal the young Uchiha, out of the kindness of his heart. Now Obito survived the impact of the cave on his own, somehow, but he lost both his right arm and right leg, so he wasn't in great shape or anything. However, due to the DNA of the first Hokage, and some training he did with Zetsu, Obito was able to regrow his arm and leg. Hashirama was wanked by Madara to have been able to regenerate without even using hand seals. So it makes sense that Obito was able to regrow an arm and leg. Obito actually loses his arm and regenerates it back multiple times. Something else worth mentioning is that Obito does not have the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and yet he never goes blind. And the only explanation that anyone can come up with is this. You've guessed it! Hashirama's cells are known for enhancing one's healing abilities, so you could say that they have been healing Obito from the blinding effects suffered by his Mangekyo? Well, it's either that or it's a plot hole. The White Zetsu, who were essentially just hollow husks remaining from victims of the infinite Tsukuyomi, spoiler alert, possess some of Hashirama's DNA. When Madara awakened the Rinnegan and accidentally summoned the Ghetto statue, the white zetsu attached to it were imbued with Hashirama's DNA, and Madara was made to believe that they are Hashirama cloned, while in reality they just possessed some of his DNA, which means that they can use wood style as well. They also have a unique reaction to Naruto's Kyuubi chakra, due to wood style being comprised of water, earth, and Yang chakra, and Naruto possessing the Yang half of the Nine Tails. The white zetsu react to the strong life force generated from the KCM cloak by sprouting into trees.
Talk about an eco-friendly villain, am I right?
Someone who was an actual clone of Hashirama was Yamato. See, Yamato was one of the many children kidnapped by Orochimaru for human experimentation, and he's the only one out of his batch to survive the first Hokage's cells. Due to this, Yamato's main jutsu arsenal is comprised of wood style techniques. He's never displayed Hashirama's regeneration ability, but I would assume he has some form of enhanced healing factor. His abilities also made him pivotal for rebuilding the village after the assault by the Akatsuki, where he was able to create multiple buildings in a matter of instants. I bet Rome would have been built in a day if this guy was around. Other than being a master architect, Yamato has inherited the first Hokage's ability to suppress chakra. More specifically, tailed beast chakra. So having Hashirama cells gives one the ability to suppress or control the Nine Tails chakra. Now, he didn't possess the same finesse with it as Hashirama did, but he's still able to subdue Four Tails Naruto when the latter is wearing the first Hokage's necklace. Danzo also had some of Hashirama's DNA, making himself Orochimaru's lab rat, so that he can get multiple Sharingan embedded into his arm. Toby implies that the reason Danzo was able to use the Izanagi to the extent that he did was due to Hashirama's power, since it's very taxing for a non-Uchiha to use a single Sharingan at all, let alone 12. It seems that possessing Hashirama's cells can enhance the technique by extending the usage time. I wanna say they do so due to the healing factor they provide, which would make a person more durable in using such taxing forbidden jutsu, but I can't tell for sure. It also seems that shinobi more skilled in honing Hashirama's power can extend the duration of the Izanagi. Obito was able to use the Izanagi for 5 minutes, while Danzo could only do 1 minute per eye, and Danzo was clearly lacking control over Hashirama's cells as they tried to absorb him towards the end of his battle against Sasuke. I mean, imagine ordering the massacre of an entire clan and stealing clan members' eyeballs from their corpses and having all the hacks that one can get, essentially 12 extra lives, just to be killed multiple times by an angsty brat. Danzo's quite the L. So in conclusion, how strong are Hashirama cells? Well, they're actually strong enough to break the plot at multiple times. Like, if you have a character that's been crushed to bits and you want to revive them, you'll need Hashirama cells. The leaf's been flattened like a pancake? Hashirama cells. You want to awaken the sage's eyes? Maybe achieve immortality? You know what to do. Anyways, this is all I got for today's video. I just thought it would be a fun little topic to cover. Once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you like this video, please drop a like, and if you're interested in seeing more content like this, then please make sure to subscribe, as I upload a lot of videos like this. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.